Tonight on your 10 o'clock news.
Like I said, she would do anything for anybody. She was just great.
The 4 victims identified in the Anaconda Bar shooting. Tonight we hear from residents who knew them and a community that grieves them. Plus, Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen gave a press conference confirming new details about the Anaconda shooting.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Thank you for trusting MTN for your 10 o'clock news. I'm Anissa Kumar. First this evening, the search for Anaconda shooting suspect Michael Brown enters day 3. Montana's Attorney General held a press conference in Anaconda this morning, confirming new details and asking the public for their help. MTN's Madeline Heath was at today's press conference and spoke with residents who say they need more answers.
We're going to catch this guy.
In Sunday's press conference at the Deer Lodge County Courthouse, Attorney General Austin Knudsen says the suspect in the Owl Bar shooting is still on the loose.
This is a dangerous individual who has committed an absolutely heinous crime against this community and these victims.
Knudsen said they believe Michael Brown, aged 45, is still alive. They have opened a tip line and a reward is being offered.
We have a $7,500 reward for any information that would lead us to Michael Paul Brown.
Saturday's manhunt had around 250 boots on the ground and in the air, but resources may shift out of Anaconda.
We're not going to have as many resources here focused on the really sharp focus search. You're going to see that stats shift a little bit.
Sunday marked day 3 of the search for the gunman who took 4 innocent lives. Residents I spoke with tell me they're concerned about the lack of updated information from law enforcement.
It's an uneasy feeling knowing that there's someone out there that has the capacity to do this and we don't know where they are.
Jim Van Vossen, an Anaconda native, appreciates the efforts to gather information through the reward and tip line, but wishes more updates were given to the public.
Have updates more frequently than what we've had, because rumor is your worst enemy.
And despite the sadness that fills the streets of Anaconda, the community has always been resilient.
You know, Anaconda character is built on hard times. This will momentarily knock us back on our heels, but this community has so many good people.
And in times of tragedy, it is not just community that comes together, but the Treasure State.
This is what we do in Montana. We step up, we help our neighbors, we come in.
Reporting in Anaconda, Madeline Heath, MTN News. Tonight, we're hearing from friends and family of the 4 victims killed in Friday's shooting. MTN's Cassidy Powers takes us to Anaconda, where the community is remembering the lives lost.
On Friday, August 1st, tragedy struck the town of Anaconda when a man walked into the Owl Bar on Washington and 3rd Street, opened fire, and shot and killed 4 people. In previous reports, we've spoken a lot about the alleged killer, Michael Brown, but who we haven't spoken a lot about yet is the 4 people who unexpectedly lost their lives.
It's just such a shock. The whole town is just heartbroken. We're just in shock.
If you were to walk a block down the street from the Owl Bar, you would see the JFK Bar, where Jill Rolls works as a bartender. Jill tells me she's known 64-year-old Nancy Loretta Kelly for 10 years.
I was with her the night before at I Throw Horseshoes, and her boyfriend was throwing against us. So she was here watching him play, just all outside having fun, chatting.
The next day, Nancy, along with 74-year-old Tony Wayne Palm, 70-year-old David Allen Leach, and 59-year-old Daniel Edwin Bailey were all shot and killed in a mass shooting. Jill tells me she doesn't know much about the other 3 victims.
I only knew Tony from coming in to the bar when I was bartending.
But Jill did know Nancy. She says Nancy was more than a friend.
She was an oncology nurse, and she helped take care of my dad when he had cancer. She explained everything to my mom and I very well to help us understand what he was going through.
Nancy wasn't just a friendly face to Jill.
She has a huge heart. She loves animals. Every animal loved her. She walked around town carrying bones for all the dogs. They all knew Nancy. She was just a great person, would do anything for anybody.
Other Anaconda locals I spoke with agreed with Jill. Nancy was known and loved by many. Even in the short time I was at the scene, several folks placed flowers and paid their respects, to their 4 community members of Anaconda who lost their lives last Friday.
Oh, it's very tight-knit. Everybody knows everybody.
Jill tells me the entire town looking for justice.
It's crazy. Everybody wants to go out there, and they're mad because everybody loved Nancy so much, and they feel like he should be done the same thing to him. I hope they find him soon.
In Anaconda, Cassidy Powers, MTN News.
Anaconda's tight-knit bartending community is in shock after one of their own was killed in the mass shooting at the Owl Bar.
The Owl was one of the regular places me and my friends would go. It is devastating to see that happen, and I feel sorry for all of the victims and the bar owner, because that's something no one would ever want to live through, and I couldn't imagine what they're going through.
Bartenders across Anaconda are turning grief into action. A fundraiser is planned for August 23rd at Happy Endings Casino, where the community will come together for a parking lot party, with all proceeds going to support the families of the 4 victims.
Let's take a look at those weather headlines. You can expect some lingering chances of showers and thunderstorms, mainly along the High Line tonight, but more widespread showers and thunderstorms will be on the way for Monday and Tuesday. And we'll see those temperatures remaining near seasonal average for the week ahead. But here's a look at your current temperatures into the 50s and the 60s, but we'll see those lows tonight into the low to upper 50s with some partly cloudy skies, nice and cool, and you can expect a partly sunny to mostly sunny day tomorrow with some chances again of those showers and thunderstorms making its way into the late afternoon and the evening with those high temperatures in the 70s and the 80s, nice and warm. You can see in that Doppler radar that most of that precipitation is lingering up in the northern portion and southern portion of the state. But here's a look at your current wind. We'll see some 5 to 10 mile per hour winds tonight, definitely on the lighter side. And then next week, you can expect those temperatures to remain mainly in the 80s, but with some cooling temperatures on the way for the end on Thursday and Saturday back into the 70s.
A Butte cardiologist who was forced to close his doors last month is reopening his practice in partnership with Great Falls Clinic. MTN's Megan Thompson shows how this move is helping patients get the heart care they need.
Several weeks ago, MTN brought you the story about a heart specialist here in Butte who was forced to close his doors at the beginning of July, leaving his 3,000 patients without care options. Well, now that doctor is back with some hope for the future.
Winning smiles too? This is easy.
We're happy. A year ago at this time, I was carrying my oxygen tank in my golf cart and I couldn't play 18 holes of golf.
Today, former Montana Grizz football coach Mick Delaney plays golf 5 days a week and walks 6 miles a day. He credits his health improvements to the care he receives from Dr. Bill Hall, an interventional cardiologist formerly with the Butte-based Providence Heart Institute. In June, with just 30 days' notice, Mick and other patients received word that the institute would close.
That was a lot of stress for a lot of people in Butte. My golf group has 8 guys and 5 of us are patients of Dr. Hall.
Today, the future looks brighter for Dr. Hall's patients as he plans to reopen his Butte practice under Great Falls Clinic.
It was so wonderful for the people from Great Falls to come down. They took our whole staff. They took me. So in the words of the Blues Brothers, we're getting the band back together.
To be able to keep him in this community, taking care of the people that he has taken care of for more than a decade, was so important to us.
Dr. Hull will make referrals to Great Falls Hospital for specialty services like pulmonology, cardiovascular, and vascular services. And CEO Mark Robinson says the hospital has a dedicated space for patients traveling for care.
It has turned out beautifully. And we're looking forward to seeing our old patients, because our patients aren't just patients, they're our friends. And they were left high and dry for a while, and now we're here to catch them.
Silverbow Cardiology with Dr. Bill Hall will open in September. In Butte, Megan Thompson, MTN News.
Friday. From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Welcome back to the MTN News at 10. Congressman Ryan Zinke is pushing to protect 2 of Montana's most iconic rivers. MTN's Megan Elaine joined him on the water to learn more about the new bill and what it could mean for the Gallatin and Madison.
You know what? We're enjoying one of Montana's premier rivers, the Madison.
On Thursday, I traded my microphone for a fly rod,
and hopped aboard a drift boat with Congressman Ryan Zinke.
Those of us that live in Montana, we want to make sure the rivers like this one are protected so we can pass it on to the next generation.
The float comes as Zinke pushes a bill to add 100 miles of the Gallatin and Madison River to the National Wild and Scenic River System, a federal designation created back in 1968 under President Lyndon B. Johnson. As we drifted through the Madison's cool, clear waters, I tried my hand at fly fishing. I didn't catch anything, but I did spot a moose along the shore. A reminder, Zinke says, of why these rivers deserve protection.
I think that we should be concerned about growth along the Madison, making sure that we have water flows and protect the very reason why we're in Montana.
Joining Zinke on the float were local officials, conservationists, and representatives from groups like American Rivers.
And these rivers are so worth protecting, and that's what everybody at American Rivers goes to work every day to do.
Michael Garcia paddled alongside us in his kayak, representing American Rivers, a group working to keep these waters clean and healthy for people and wildlife.
So the effort and the time that we put in to keep these waters pristine and here for everybody to use now and in the future, and that my kids get to paddle a river as clean as I did, and my grandkids, which I have a few of now, that's worth everything.
I asked Zinke how this fits into the broader conversation around public lands.
Brings attention to a critical part of America and Montana is our public lands. And I will say we can manage our public lands much better, and we should. But selling of public lands, you're not making any more lands.
He says the designation is part of a bigger push, one he hopes unites both sides of the aisle.
This and a number, I think, of supporting bills. Again, and it's also bipartisan. I think this is an American issue.
His bottom line:
the outdoor experience that I grew up in primarily is predicated on public access of public lands.
Floating on the Madison, Megan Elaine, MTN News.
If you've ever dreamed of selling homemade pies, launching a food truck, or turning farm fresh produce into profit, you're not alone. In tonight's Montana Ag Report, MTN's Jill Valley takes us to Ronan, where one organization is helping people turn homegrown ideas into real-life businesses.
How's the week been for you? Couple bags of good food. It's another lunch rush for the Groovy Blue Jay in Ronan, selling sandwiches on fresh baked bread and more from its popular food truck in the Mission Valley. Owners Ryan and Ashley Lawrence have experience in the food industry but needed a little business advice. And they got it from the Mission West Community Development Partners in Ronan.
I said they were very vital. We had a lot of questions about how to get some local product, how to, find storage space, how to find all of these factors. And luckily they offered almost all of that, let alone, just contact information for vendors. They were kind of the hub of information. So just to find a place like that clean and, that well organized it was astounding, honestly. The Mission West Community Development Partners helps people with business guidance, commercial kitchen space, and almost anything else they need for their value-added ag business ideas. Today, they're pitting flathead cherries.
Montana is an ag-driven state, and so we need to see ag economy grow. And this is a great way of doing that, showing that local producers can put their produce in a product that goes everywhere from Montana to the region to hopefully nationwide someday.
This is also where they make Montana marinara. That is served in Montana schools. It's part of a larger equation that supports Montana growers and gets locally sourced food out to the public.
Not only do we have a large processing facility that does hot fill or bottled and jarred products, but also fresh processes, but also in terms of services that Mission West provides as far as business funding, technical advice, and that kind of stuff. So this is a very unique facility, but also a very unique production facility.
The organization has already delivered more than 11,000 hours of consulting, supporting 900 clients that come not just from the Mission Valley, but places like Bozeman and Helena, Havre even. This whole concept was actually ahead of its time.
Really grew out of some local growers that were wanting some assistance with adding value to their crops, getting new markets for their crops.
Anytime a grower or a farmer can have a home for an extra 2 tons of carrots or an extra ton of onions or something like that, that has real effect on not just them, but their local community.
It really opens up a lot of avenues, especially for fresh businesses, small businesses, anybody trying to get rolling, even home businesses or anything like that. It gives you a lot of opportunities that you couldn't get elsewhere.
So how is it working out for the Groovy Blue Jay?
We did win Best Sandwich in Lake County.
Well, so far, so good. In Ronan, Jill Valley, MTN News.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Brianna Juneau.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your Great Falls, Connecticut ICAM earlier this evening. Beautiful shot of those partly cloudy skies and that sun that was still remaining there. And you can see that the fair is gone. Sad sight. But your high temperatures today were around 86 degrees, which is near average, slightly below average. Those lows expected around 56 degrees tonight. Your Opportunity Bank of Montana weather cam is broken. I don't know how, but it's would also show some partly cloudy skies, and you can expect that tonight. Mainly those showers and thunderstorms that we saw along the Highline and southern portions of the state will begin to decrease as we head through tonight. More widespread showers and thunderstorms will be on the way for Monday and Tuesday, with those temperatures remaining around seasonal average. But here's a look at your current temperatures into the 50s and the 60s. It'll be a nice night tonight with some light winds and some mainly dry conditions, partly cloudy skies, making way for some more moisture tomorrow. But we do have an upper level ridge that has taken control of the area with some short waves on the way that will make those chances of showers and thunderstorms possible. Also cool things down a bit, which is why those temperatures are slightly below to near average. But here's a look at your severe thunderstorm outlook tonight. Again, mainly non-severe for the area and mainly in northern and southern portions of the state. But tomorrow you can expect some more isolated chances of severe thunderstorms to make their way through. This could come with some gusty winds, some heavy rain, and maybe even some hail. But that will mostly be for that central, northern, and eastern portion of the state tomorrow, but there's still going to be some widespread chances of those showers and thunderstorms to make their way through. But tonight you can expect some partly cloudy skies and some lingering showers and thunderstorms pushing over into that eastern portion of the state. But as we hit Monday morning along the Rocky Mountain front, some showers and maybe even a thunderstorm making its way. But as we hit the late afternoon and the evening, that's when you're going to notice that widespread coverage. I mean, look at this. There's thunderstorms and showers, plenty of moisture and precipitation, which is perfect. We need it. And that will continue to move from the southwestern portion of the state all the way up into the northeastern, lingering through Tuesday morning, especially for these central areas. And there could be some severe thunderstorms making its way through as that system continues to push out of the area by Tuesday evening. But here's a look at your wind gust tracker. You can expect some 5 to 10 mile per hour winds tonight, definitely on the lighter side as we head through Monday morning. Light winds as well until we hit the afternoon when those winds will pop up widespread up to 40 to 50 mile per hour, especially along that Rocky Mountain front. This will linger into Tuesday, really pushing into that 50 mile per hour point, becoming a bit more widespread, 20 to 40 mile per hour winds until we hit Tuesday evening and into Wednesday, when those winds will become a little bit lighter, but still pushing to that 20 to 30 mile per hour point for Wednesday. Wednesday will be a bit drier than Monday and Tuesday, but then we'll have some more chances of showers and thunderstorms to make its way through again. Here's a look at your high temperatures that we saw today, a little bit cooler than what we might have been used to, but only in the 70s and the 80s. I think that's a perfect. But here's a look at your lows tonight into the 50s, partly cloudy skies, nice and cool again. And then those highs tomorrow, right back up into the upper 70s and the low to upper 80s, mostly sunny skies to partly sunny skies. And then again, those chances of showers and thunderstorms widespread, making its way into the late afternoon through the evening and continuing to linger through Tuesday. But let's take a look at those 7-day forecasts. You can expect those 80-degree temperatures to remain Monday through Wednesday. Again, this is near average to slightly below average, partly cloudy skies for the most part, until we hit Thursday and Friday when a cold front moves in, bringing those temperatures down into the 70s. But hey, I think that's still a perfect temperature to remain in. Definitely not going to be chilly, but nice. And we'll also see some more chances of precipitation to make its way through for Tuesday and Friday, and maybe even into the weekend. Wednesday looks to be your driest day of next week.